Hello everyone, Nick from Yugiohmad with my Evil Hero deck profile. Been working on this deck for a while now and it has a lot of expensive cards in this set, so I'm just giving you guys a warning now. But yeah, I hope you guys will enjoy this video. Give the video a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and without further ado, let's start the deck profile, shall we? Okay, starting off with the searchers. 3 copies of Stratos. As soon as it's summoned, you just literally get to search for any hero card from your deck, so definitely 3 of. 3 copies of Shadow Mist. It does exactly the same, but when it's sent to the graveyard, literally when it's sent to the graveyard, you get to search for any hero card from your deck and add it to your hand. And 3 copies of Adjusted Gold, which searches for your Dark Fusion and Dark Calling. This card is ridiculously expensive. This card's like £100, so I wouldn't recommend you buying this one. Really expensive. Fortunately, I bought 4 boxes of the Legendary Duelist 4, so I managed to get 3 out of 4, which I was really pleased with. But for a cheaper alternative, just use King of the Swamp and Polymerization with the Supreme King Castle. It does exactly the same thing, and you get to fusion summon your evil heroes quicker. Going with the Vision Hero engine, I've gone with 2 copies of Vision Hero Ferris. Fantastic card this card is. Has multiple uses. Number 1, it's a special summon. All you have to do is just discard 1 card from your hand, and then you get to special summon. Well, discard a hero monster, and then you get a special summon this card from your hand. Ideally, you're going to discard Shadow Mist, because you special summon this card, you get the search off of Shadow Mist, and then this card lets you place a Vision Hero into your spell and trap card zone, which would be Increase. So I've got 2 copies of Increase. When this card is placed in your spell and trap card zone, basically you can just send a hero monster on your field to the graveyard to special summon this card, and then you get to call out another Vision Hero monster from your deck. Another fantastic use for Ferris before I move on is that Ferris is a level 5, which makes it a nice usable monster for Dark Calling to summon out the Malicious Bane as well. And with the Increase, you're going to go with Vision Hero Vion, 2 copies. Right, Vision Hero Vion has 2 fantastic effects. Number 1, when it's summoned, you get to send a monster from your deck to the graveyard. So you get to send Shadow Mist to the graveyard, and then you get to search off a Shadow Mist then, which is another searcher. Or you can, and then after that, you can banish 1 monster in your graveyard, search for the Polymerization card, and if you have the Supreme King Castle on the field, then you get to fusion summon it using Polymerization. 2 copies of Honest Neos, nice defensive hand trap for the archetype. I would have gone with 3, but I just think 3 is just not necessary because this card is highly searchable, and I heard this deck has a high OTK potential. 1 copy, now this is all single copies at the moment, 1 copy of Sinister Necrom. I just love this card. It's also able to be sent to the graveyard with Vion and discarded using Ferris, and then what you do is just banish this card from your graveyard and you get to special summon an evil hero from your deck. 1 little copy of Evil Hero Malicious Bane, which is the original evil heroes. Now for the elemental heroes, Wildheart 1 copy, Avion 1 copy, Bastinatrix 1 copy, Clayman 1 copy, and Sparkman 1 copy, just to go with the original evil hero monsters. The only evil hero that I won't be using is Infernal Sniper, which is the fusion of Clayman and Bastinatrix, because I just didn't think it was necessary to put in the deck, in the extra deck, because there's some much more stronger monsters to use. And for my hand trap, I've got 2 copies of Nibiru. Because 1, it can stop my opponent from special summoning more than 5 monsters in a turn, and number 2, it's a rock type monster with 3,000 points, so I can use it as fusion material to summon out Dark Gaia. And they're the monsters. I just go on to the spells. 3 copies of the Emergency Call, just to search for any elemental hero card in the entire deck, so you can fit the requirements for your fusion summoning. 3 copies of Dark Calling, which is basically the miracle fusion for the evil heroes, and you just fusion summon from your hand or graveyard to fusion summon evil heroes, and it's searchable by Adjusted Gold, which is now fantastic for the archetype. 2 copies of Dark Fusion. This is basically a polymerization for evil heroes or fiend monsters. It's just that they get a little bit of extra protection for that 1 turn, so they can't be targeted by your opponent's card effects, which is nice to have. 1 copy of polymerization, as it's searchable by Vion. And with the Supreme King's Castle, I can use my polymerization to fuse my evil heroes together, or if I want to, go for a Vision Hero play. 2 copies of the Supreme King Castle. This card goes with the polymerization to fusion summon without using Dark Fusion or Dark Calling, and it has a nice effect as well, that if one of my fiend monsters battle, I can send an evil hero from my deck or my extra deck to the graveyard, and that monster gains attack points equal to its level times by 200. 1 copy of Foolish Burial to send Shadow Mist to the graveyard and then get a search off it. And finally 2 copies of Favourite Hero, which is equipped to a level 5 or higher hero monster. And then what it does when you attack with that monster, you automatically activate a field spell from your main deck, which would be the Supreme King's Castle. And the equipped monster, as long as it's level 5, gains attack equal to its defense. So ideally you want to go with Malicious Bane with this combo, which I'll show you in a moment. But basically this card has the potential for an OTK. And that's the spells. I'll just go into the extra deck now. 2 copies of Malicious Bane and 1 copy of Malicious Fiend. Malicious Bane is what the archetype desperately needed. This monster is absolutely insane, and it's one of the reasons why it's really expensive. It's like 80 quid. You don't need 3 copies. 2 copies is absolutely fine, because once you get 1 onto the field, it's going to be difficult for them to defeat. But if you manage to get 2, then it's literally game over. Malicious Fiend as well is a very fun card to use. It goes towards something Dark Gaia if necessary. But yeah, it also searches for Malicious Edge when you're using the extra hero devicer. So multiple uses as well, and very easy to summon. 1 copy of Dark Gaia, which requires a Fiend monster and a Rock monster. So potentially this monster could have up to 6,500 points, because if I use Malicious Fiend and Nibiru, then that's 3,500 plus 3,000. Yeah, and this card, your opponent cannot defend from this card, because you get to choose the opponent's mode or when you attack. So for example, if they have all monsters in defense mode and you declare an attack with this card, you can literally just switch all of them to attack mode and then just deal massive damage to them, and none of their effects can activate when they're flipped up. 1 copy of Wild Cyclone, just to get rid of my opponent's back row if I attack him and deal damage, because if this card attacks, your opponent can activate spells and traps. 1 copy of Inferno Wing and 1 copy of Lightning Golem. Lightning Golem can literally just blow up a card on the field. I was debating to use 2, but I didn't really want to take away the potency of the deck by replacing the Lightning Golem with Malicious Bane. So I'd rather have 2 copies of Malicious Bane and 1 copy of Lightning Golem. But if you haven't got the money for Malicious Bane, then just go with extra copies of Lightning Golem, because Lightning Golem destroys a card in the field. 1 copy of Vision Hero Adoration and 1 copy of Vision Hero Trinity. The Vision Hero is very easy to summon, especially with Vion. That's an alternative in case I don't use polymerization with the Supreme King's Castle. Now for the Link monsters, 2 copies of Extra Infernal Devicer. Very nice card for the archetype. Basically, when this card is Link summoned, I get to target a Hero Fusion monster from my extra deck. So for example, I target Lightning Golem, and then I get to add its fusion materials from my deck to my hand, which would be Sparkman and Clayman, and at the same time, all monsters this card point to gains 100 points times its level. So give my monster an extra power boost. Because this is a fusion base, I'm going to go with Cross Shape. So basically, when a monster is special summoned to a zone this card points to, I literally get to special summon a level 4 monster from my graveyard. So if I wanted to, I can bring back Stratos and get another search. Also, because it's fusion based, I've gone with 1 copy of Predaplant Verity Anaconda, just so I can go with the polymerization or the Dark Fusion play. I'm not going to add Red Ice Fusion to this deck because I didn't want to take it away. Verity Anaconda is basically used for Dark Fusion, so it's an extra polymerization if needed. And finally, I've gone with Appaloosa and Bowl Sword Dragon as my final 2 Link monsters. And that's the main deck. I'll just go on to the side deck now. 3 copies of Dark Ruler No More, in case my opponent has an unbreakable board on their first turn, so I get to use my combo anyway. 3 copies of Crossout Designator, because this deck requires a lot of searching, so if my opponent stops me, then I'm going to be in a lot of trouble, so Crossout Designator is definitely needed for this deck. 1 copy of Called by the Grave as well. Like I said, extra protection for hand traps is definitely needed for this deck. 2 copies of Effect Veiler, so in case my opponent has a card that stops them from using effects, I can always just use Crossout Designator if I needed. 2 copies of Ash Blossom as well. Exactly the same reason. Stop my opponent from using Ash Blossom against me, and at the same time I can use it against my opponent as well. 2 copies of Angmar the Fiendish Monarch. This was a card I started putting in the side deck. Basically, when it's tribute summoned, I get to banish a spell card from my graveyard, and then I get to add the same spell card from my deck to my hand. So ideally, when I tribute summon this card, which is very easy to do with this deck, I can literally just banish Dark Calling from my graveyard if I've already used it, add Dark Calling from my deck to my hand, and then just go for it again, which I think is fantastic. And 2 copies of Hidden Armory, just to search for my favourite hero card, because if I use it, I'm not allowed a normal summon or set, which is not a problem with this deck. So basically I just send top card from my deck to the graveyard, add favourite hero, and then I can potentially go for the OTK there. And that's the side deck. I'm just going to go on to the combos now. Alright, let's go with the potential OTK. All you need is a Vision Hero Ferris, Dark Fusion, Shadow Mist, and a favourite hero. And basically what you're going to do, you're going to discard the Shadow Mist in your hand to special summon that Ferris. And when Ferris is special summoned, and also Shadow Mist, when Shadow Mist is sent to graveyard, so Shadow Mist activates, allowing you to add a hero monster from your deck to your hand. So you're going to add Adjusted Gold with Shadow Mist. And when Vision Hero is special summoned, you get to place a Vision Hero in your spell and trap card zone. So you're going to go with Increase. Let's move these over here for the moment. And then you're going to use Increase's effect. You're going to go with Increase's effect. You're going to send the Ferris to the graveyard to special summon out the Increase. And then when Increase is special summoned, you get to special summon a Vision Hero from your deck. So you can go with a Vision Hero Vion. And when Vion is special summoned, you get to send an evil hero, send a hero monster from your deck to the graveyard. So ideally, you don't even need Shadow Mist. You just literally just send Shadow Mist to the graveyard now, and you get to search for a card. Or in this case, you can go with Sinister Necron, which is what we're going to do right now. So we're going to send Sinister Necron to the graveyard. Next, we are going to use the special ability of Vion to banish the Shadow Mist in the graveyard to add Polymerization to our hand. We're going with Polymerization. Next, another possibility, we can go with the Polymerization right now to go with Adoration, but we're not going to do that. Instead, we are going to link these two away to summon out extra hero Infernal Devicer. Infernal Devicer searches for a monster in the extra deck and then adds the material. So we're going to search and we're going to add, let's go old school, let's go with Inferno Wing. So if we're going to target Inferno Wing, and we're going to add, so we're going to add Aegon and Bastinrix to our hand, therefore going for Inferno Wing. Then we can go with Dark Fusion right away, but instead before we do that, we're going to send Adjusted Gold to the graveyard first. So we're going to add Dark Calling to the hand, and then we're going to go with the Dark Fusion play now. We're going to go with Dark Fusion to fuse Aegon and Bastinrix together, summon that Evil Hero Inferno Wing, summon that Inferno Wing hit, and then we're going to play Dark Calling straight after to banish. We're going to banish the Adjusted Gold in the grave, and we're going to banish the Vision Hero Ferris in the graveyard to summon out the absolute boss, Evil Hero Malicious Bane. And with Infernal Devicer, all monsters it points to gains a bonus of 100 points times its level. So Malicious Bane's at 3800 and Inferno Wing's at 2900 with a piercing damage and burn damage at the same time. 3800 points, even with its own effect, blow all your opponent's field, and then they get to literally gain 200 points more for each card it destroys. And then at the end, you equip your monster with favourite hero. Go with favourite hero, so then you equip it to Malicious Bane or Inferno Wing, and then if it has a field spell, then your monster gains attack equal to its defense, which is not at the moment, but not to worry, because what we're going to do now is we are going to banish the Sinister Necron in the graveyard to summon out an evil hero from our deck. So we're going to go with the old school evil hero Malicious Edge. So you got 3 monsters for absolutely nothing at all, and then Malicious Edge attacks. Don't forget, it cannot be targeted or destroyed by opponent's card effects. So when this card attacks, Vision favourite hero activates, instantly allowing you to activate a field spell card from your deck. So we're going to go with the Supreme King's Castle, and then after that, because there's now a field spell, Vision favourite hero now gives Malicious Bane attack point equal to its own defense, which is another 3000. So that's at 6800 points already, plus all the monsters it's destroyed. And then to top it off, you can use Supreme King Castle's effect to send a evil hero monster from your deck or extra deck to the graveyard to deal that to give one monster extra 200 points. So we can even send Malicious Fiend to the graveyard. That's now 1600 points. So that's potentially 8600 points straight off the bat. This is a simple 2-card combo as well. All you need is a Foolish Burial and a Sinister Necron. Basically, just play Foolish Burial, send one of your monsters from the graveyard. You're going to send Shadow Mist to the graveyard. Shadow Mist searches for a hero monster. So we're going to add Stratos, normal summon Stratos, use Stratos' effect, search for any hero monster. as well. Gonna go with the could go with Adjusted Gold, but we're gonna go with another Ferris. Use Ferris's effect, discarding Sinister Necron from the graveyard to the graveyard. Special summon Ferris. Ferris now places exactly the same combo again. Basically just places increase into your spell and trap card zone. Basically send this card to the graveyard. Special summon increase. Increase special summon that Vion. Actually, we're not going to do that. We're going to do this instead. We're going to send Stratos to the graveyard. Increase special summons that Vion. Vion searches for polymerization. And then you can literally just fuse them together. So you're going to fuse the 3 monsters together, or 2 monsters together if you wish, to go with either Vision Hero Trinity or Vision Hero Adoration. If you use 3 heroes, this card literally just becomes 5,000 points and can attack 3 times, as long as it's not attacking directly. But yeah, and Adoration has a nice decrease in attack points, a decrease in attack power. Speaking of which, in the last video I could even have done that instead, because I required 2 hero monsters. And that's it, guys. That is my Evil Hero deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give the video a thumbs up, like and subscribe, and let me know in the comment section what you would change, what you liked, what you didn't like. I know this deck is really expensive, but hopefully they'll get reprinted soon. But yeah, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought. That's it, guys, and I'll see you next time.